right, Clay, we see you there at the airlock, and now you get that tool relocate bag, and just bring it over to the forward side, and we'll start unloading it.
Okay. All right, so let's see, do I have everything? So, Dottie, in this bag now, there's a one of the long screwdriver things.
Yeah, the BRS tool?
I guess that's what it's called. The vice grips, the T-handle, and the pin straightener.
Yeah, so those are, I understand, are coming back inside.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let's also make sure you've got two adjustables on the negative, one adjustable on the outside.
Yes, ma'am, that's true.
Okay, Clay, I think we can open the airlock thermal cover.
I agree.
6 hours into today's 6.5-hour spacewalk, Mission Specialist Clay Anderson moving back into the airlock, having finished up his last task for the day, dropping off some tools inside the airlock toolbox for use in a future spacewalk.
Yeah, let's get that bag back in.
Mission Specialist Rick Strakios still on the Z1 section of the truss, finishing up his work at the future home of the space-to-ground and spare space-to-ground antenna coming up on the next mission, getting some cables bundled to clean up that area.
All right, very good job to the conclusion of EVA 3. It's been awesome working with you guys. You did a really nice job, and Stephanie and Jim also with all their robotics. So,
okay, Dottie. Well, thanks, Dottie, and thanks to Dave and Dave Collins, John Malarski, and Jordan Lindsay, and let's see, Shelly and Sabrina and Clay. Who else we got? Oh, we got Jay Berger, who's Linda Thomas, who's Boeing Engineering Support, and then of course always the guys in the VR lab. And the MBL divers. There's a guy there named Mastracchio, I believe. Better be. And thanks to everybody at MCC. Appreciate all the hard work today.
This is Naoko early in the day, up and at 'em in the MPLM.
Yes, we have today and tomorrow, and then we will close the MPLM hatch. So we were very busy to reconfigure the MPLM for return. So lots of piece of forms we have to reconfigure for return, which is different location from the resupply. So we are working very hard to pack everything.
We shot a couple shots of video so people could see what these racks look like. That's a resupply rack. It has different storage volumes for different bags. This is a resupply platform, an RSP we call it, with different sized bags, and there are several of those along each side, and they can also rotate. You can see one in the background there that's rotated out of the way so we can get behind it because there are bags behind it as well. Anyway, MPLM looks great now. This was first thing in the morning, and now it's much better than that. Anyway, coming up out of the MPLM and making a 90-degree turn into the Columbus module, you can see that Soichi and Stephanie are inside working on one of the racks that we delivered.
Yes, this is a muscle atrophy resistive exercise science experiment, or MARIS, which is the rack for the European Space Agency, and it has a lot of foam to protect, of course, the sensitive components for the experiments. And one of the things that we're trying to do here is to reconfigure all of the parts so that we can take this foam home. The parts are, of course, very useful. The foam is not quite so useful on orbit. So we were able to get all of that stowed, and the module is nice and tidy now. This is Node 1, and we are waiting outside the airlock for it to open. Right now, Tracy and Jim are prepping Rick and Clay for EVA 3, and pretty soon they'll come out of the they'll come out, we'll be able to get tools on and get them all ready, put their safer packs on, and then get them into the airlock. So TJ and I are waiting, and here you go. The hatch is opening.
That's Jim coming out, and Rick and I spend the night, so we camp out for the spacewalks, and that's to pre-breathe oxygen and help get the nitrogen out of our system so we won't get the bends on any of our spacewalks. And the EVAs were performed on the odd days, flight day 5, 7, and 9, mostly because I'm very odd. And we we had a great time, and they pushed. This is Clay going in feet first, Rick goes in head first, and it's kind of a choreography to get everything inside the airlock. 2 huge spacesuits, and then all the gear that we need to take outside in order to do the tasks that we're going to do.
Yeah, we get a lot of good training at Johnson Space Center, and Jim was noting today that though he and I hadn't trained together on the ground, it seemed that our training was put to good work, good use inside the airlock.
This is Alexander getting one of his early workouts on the TVIS machine. And here's Steph and Jim at the robotics console.
Well, the robotics went really well again today. We got to go in and release the tank to Clay in the back of the payload bay before he and Rick bolted it down. And Stephanie did a great job of releasing that and getting back off the pin. It's pretty dynamic. When the guys are in the suits, they have a very hard time stabilizing in positions where the suit doesn't want to be because of the pressure inside of it. And Clay just did a really good job holding the tank still for us.
This is Oleg Kotov, the commander of the Soyuz and the International Space Station. He's doing some exercises on the new Advanced Resistive Exercise device, and this is Soichi on the bike.
Yeah, I'm doing the CS workout, aerobiking at the speed of 70,000 miles per hour. It was fun, and all the kudos to the Acers. Thank you very much.
Nilko and I tracing in the MPLM, and a great nose shot of Dottie Metcalf Hundenberger.
And this is one of the interesting things about being in space is that you can use the windows in new and inventive ways, and to look back at the station truss assembly from the pilot's window, you have to kind of get on your back and put your face up in the window, and it's really a beautiful view. This is a shot that we shot from the flight deck of the orbiter with one of our payload bay cameras, and this is the Gulf of Aden and the mouth of the Red Sea and the east coast of Africa. It's absolutely stunning contrast between the reds and browns of the sand and the bright blue waters. Really stunning views, and you can see the high contrast that you get there with the Earth limb, and there's a shuttle KU antenna in view as well.
Here's a shot of Clay and I out EVA in the payload bay. This is where Steph and Jim are handing off the ATA, the ammonia tank, over to Clay, and then we were going to bolt it down to the truss segment in the back of the payload bay. This shot is from the cupola. You can see the great view the cupola provides, not only of the Earth, but here of the payload bay docked to the space station. You know, the ATA, we had some trouble with one of the bolts today, and we know that the engineers designed these devices with very tight tolerances, and things just change a little in space, and we realized that, and so we had a little bit of trouble getting one of the bolts to tighten up, but ground helped us out, and they did a great job giving us some advice on releasing bolt 3, and once we did that, everything seemed to go real smoothly.